You can cut your cost of living by moving to a different location. In the context of financial independence, we call this geographic arbitrage. But you can take advantage of geoarbitrage even without having to move. In this video, I'm going to share 3 creative ideas for cutting your cost of living so that you can become financially independent quicker. Welcome to Money with Markus, where I help you reach financial independence by earning more, saving more, and investing more money. My name is Markus Seppälä, and in this video I'm going to talk about geographic arbitrage. What it means is that you're taking advantage of the price differences between different locations. So for example, the cost of living in Thailand is a lot cheaper than it is in the US. So by moving to Thailand, you can cut your cost of living. Another aspect of geographic arbitrage is to move to a location where you can earn more. In this video, I'm going to concentrate on the cost of living side of this equation. Specifically in this video, I'm going to show you examples of how much money you can save by moving countries. I'm also going to show you some everyday geographic arbitrage when it comes to shopping and buying services and taking advantage of those cheaper prices somewhere else. Stick around to the end of the video where I'm going to share a bonus tip that combines both high earnings and low cost of living essentially in the same place. There's links to everything I'm talking about in the description below. There you can also pick up my free financial independence planning spreadsheet. When we're talking about geographic arbitrage among people who are pursuing financial independence, the typical example is that you move to a country that has a lower cost of living. For example, if you were to move from Chicago in the US to Bangkok in Thailand, your cost of living would be 44% lower with essentially the same quality of life. For myself, I wouldn't want to move to Thailand because it's too hot. But maybe a place like Latvia would be a good fit for me. So if I were to move from Basel, Switzerland to Riga in Latvia, I would be able to cut my cost of living by 54%. When I calculated these numbers, I used a site called Expatistan. It's a free site. You can compare the cost of living between different cities. I have a link in the description below if you want to try it out. This kind of geographic arbitrage is certainly an interesting opportunity for anybody who is pursuing financial independence, but it does have a few limitations. If you're going to focus primarily on your cost of living, moving to a cheaper country may only be an option after you've actually become financially independent and you need that money to last longer. There are also practical considerations, such as dealing with taxes, healthcare, and residence permits. But the biggest obstacle may be that you just don't want to move. You have your social life in a certain location and you're not willing to move just to save on your cost of living. So these next tips about geographic arbitrage may be more valuable to you right now. Hit the like button if you've been getting some value from this video already. If you don't want to move permanently, you can still take advantage of the difference in foreign exchange rates and the cost of living between different locations. And one way to do that is to shop in a lower cost location. I'll give you my example. If I walk 10 minutes up the street from my house, I end up in France. And there I could probably do my grocery shopping at 50% of the prices compared to Switzerland. Now, I don't particularly like France. I don't like going to France. I don't really do it very often. But in my case, I have another option. Right outside my window here, I can actually jump on the tram, or light rail as you may call it, and in 13 minutes I'm going to be in Germany. And once again, the prices are going to be about half compared to here in Basel, Switzerland. Basel is actually one of the few places in the world where there is a tram making an international border crossing. And crossing that border is super easy because we're in Europe, we don't need any passports or anything like that. We can just cross the border without any formalities. As a matter of fact, in this video, you can see at the moment I'm on the Swiss side of the border, now I'm crossing the border, and now I'm on the German side. And right here to the left side in the picture, you can see a big shopping mall, which is catering almost exclusively for all the Swiss cross-border shoppers that come through. And depending on your location, you probably have access to opportunities like this as well. For example, I understand that a lot of Canadians who live in the southern part of the country, they have their Amazon deliveries to a US address just across the border because they save so much on shipping and maybe it's even a cheaper price. This quest for finding cheaper deals across the border is our own version of geographic arbitrage here in Europe, and it has actually fueled a lot of the tourism that we see here across the continent. If you got value from this video already, hit the like button. Another way in which you can take advantage of the differences in prices across the world is that you can buy services. For example, if I needed help editing my videos, I could go to a site like Fiverr.com to find a freelancer who's able to do that at an affordable price. And that person may be in a cheaper cost of living country. And that's a great deal for both of us because I get a good price on the service that I'm buying. But on the other hand, if they're located in a cheaper country, they may be able to get more value out of that income than if they were living in a more expensive country. There's lots of different creative services available on Fiverr. If you want to check them out, I have the link in the description below. In just a moment, I'm going to jump over to my bonus tip. But if you got some value from this video, please consider subscribing to my channel for more tips on how you can build wealth and reach financial independence. And here's the bonus tip. There is a method that combines both a high income and a low cost of living, and that is being a cross-border commuter. For example, right here in Basel, Switzerland, I had a lot of colleagues who worked here in Switzerland earning a high Swiss salary, but then they lived in France or Germany. And for many people, that's a 10 or 20-minute commute. It's very easy because we're very close to the border. The people in this region are getting the best of both worlds, both because they can earn a lot and they can have a low cost of living. But that's not it, because there's also differences in taxes and government benefits. One example that I often hear is that if you have children, it may be better to live in France, where yes, you pay a little bit more tax, but then you also get better childcare provided by the government. But if you don't have children, it's better to live in Switzerland and take advantage of the low taxes right here. Of course, there are many places around the world where you can be this kind of cross-border commuter. For example, I had a colleague who worked in our Singapore office but lived in Malaysia. So she got the high Singapore salary but the low cost of living in Malaysia, and she would commute on a weekly basis between Singapore and Malaysia. Geographic arbitrage is one of those basic concepts of financial independence. I actually have a whole playlist covering all the fundamentals of financial independence and building wealth. Here you will learn things like how much money do you need to become financially independent, or how long is it going to take you to reach that number. If you want to check out that playlist, please click the link on the screen now. Also remember to grab my free financial independence planning spreadsheet from the links below. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.